Welcome everyone to the ScreamCast, episode 24. I'm your host, Sean DeRager, and with me today's a nice, cozy little episode. It's just me and Brad today. Brad, what's up?
Hi. Cozy?
Cozy. I was trying to think of a word, but I can't think of it. I just got done mowing my lawn, and it's hot outside, so my brain isn't really,
Well, I always, think cozy
intimate.
Would be,
that's what I meant, intimate.
Warm and, wrapped up in a blanket. That's what
right.
I think about. That's what I think about cozy.
Yeah, that's not you. Spending time with you definitely would not be cozy.
That's not nice.
I am kidding. All right. Today we are going to be talking Ninja 3: The Domination, and I'm excited to be talking about this one. I had a chance to see this in the theater with the director in the audience, and I was not able to make it. I was pretty bummed out.
Dude.
I had the ticket bought and everything, and I think something came up where I couldn't make it to LA, so I had to call them and get a refund for the ticket. I was really sad.
Yeah, it sounds sad.
Yeah, I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of it.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't actually want to talk about it. That's a little upsetting.
People, sometimes in life you need to make the right decision to take care of your family.
And you obviously made the wrong one.
Well, I didn't like the decision I had to make, but I had to make it, so.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
It's just depressing to me.
Well, hopefully Cinefamily in LA brings it back, because that would be amazing. Just to at least see this on the big screen would be really fun.
Well, they should. And I would just like to actually, I didn't tell you this part, Sean, but this one was a little important to me with this episode because I worked my ass off on trying to get Lucinda Dickey on this show. And if anybody knows anything about her, she was in 5 movies. She was in Breakin'. She played Kelly, and she played in cheerleader camp, which is also known as Bloody Pom Poms now. Because she played Corey, she played the killer. Spoiler alert. And then,
is it really known as Bloody Pom Poms now? Because I remember seeing the DVD and it was cheerleader camp, but I guess it's listed as Bloody Pom Poms.
Yeah, well, I think it was when it was re-released or whatever, it's known as Bloody Pom. I don't know. Originally, it was cheerleader camp.
I've always known it as cheerleader camp.
But yeah, she plays the mascot, and I've always had in Ninja 3 as well. Of course, she plays Christy, but I've always been a big fan of Lucinda Dickey. I know she's only been in a couple things, but I always thought she was really beautiful, even as a kid. I just had the major crush on her. So whenever we started talking about the show, I was, I do most of the guests on the show and try to organize everything. And this was one of the main ones that I wanted to go after. Well, Lucinda Dickey's off the map. She doesn't have any social media. She's kind of went into hiding. In a way, that's what it seems like. She just after cheerleader camp, she just kind of disappeared. And so I it took me a lot of time and a lot of ways to try to find her, and I did. So it's kind of a little story. I found out she married a producer of he does this Brooklyn fight show, this reality show. So he doesn't have any social media contacts either. So I contacted one of the fighters that was on the show, and this fighter didn't take me seriously. He was like, I don't know who you are. He's like, what? He's like, that's my boss. Now you want to talk to his wife. This guy's pretty hardcore. He's like, who the fuck are you? So I'm like, no, I was like, listen, you can, if you guys want to do it, I just started throwing everything out there because I was desperate. I was like, I'll give you my name, my address. I'll give you a fucking background check. I was like, we're just doing a show. It was about one of the movies she was in, Ninja 3, and we just want to talk to her. And he was like, oh, okay, I'll drop a line. So, he said he emailed his producer. I forget the guy's name, the guy she's married to. But anyways, he got back with me and he said, no, she's not interested. Sorry. And that's it.
Oh, man.
And he followed me on Twitter so we could DM, and then he just unfollowed me right after that message. So I could never send it back. And I was like, oh shit. So like, it took some time. I know that's a very short story, but it took some time trying to get there, and it was a little upsetting. And I mean, she wants to be out of the spotlight. That's fine. Yeah. Something might have happened. Who knows? But she had kind of this dancing career coming, and she was a dancer, and I mean, that's one of the main reasons she was probably picked for Ninja 3. But yeah. So, anyways, that little side story or whatever. But yeah, I really, really try to get Lucinda Dickey for this show, just so we could talk, because this movie's just so bizarre and completely what she started doing. I mean, she was like, had a part in like Grease 2, and she was in Breakin', she played Special K. And, then she just did this, like between the Breakin' movies, and it was just kind of completely out of her element. I really wanted to know why she did it. Obviously it was probably to gain fame, and they're coming off the series of Ninja, Enter and Revenge and whatever. But yeah, just a little side story. So there you go, Sean. Wow. You didn't even know that.
I didn't. And I don't think you guys know, like, just how much work it is to get these guests. I mean, I kind of can take it for granted too. So hat tip to you, man, for busting your ass. Cause, I mean,
thanks.
It's cause I used to do like a religion podcast, and just to even get the guests for that show and schedule them and it's a lot of stinking work. And I kind of, the whole reason I stopped doing that with that podcast, there's a lot of reasons with that, but I mean, why I stopped doing that podcast, but it was just hard trying to get all these guests, and I couldn't handle it because of, 3 kids, full-time job. I could not, keep up with it at all. So I just stopped kind of getting guests on there, and that show kind of fell by the wayside. So, yeah. So I don't think people realize, people just don't show up and, come on our show. It does take a lot of work, and Brad's the guy doing the heavy lifting.
It's not like, it's fun. It's fun when the guests are on here and we love it. But yeah, there's a certain amount of like, force that you have, not want to use the word force. But, there's just so much that you have to do in order to get, because I mean, coming off some of these guests I know personally, so it's easy.
Right.
But there are some guests that I don't have any idea who they, like, I know who they are, but I've never had contact with them, so it's just me reaching out. But I mean, they've done interviews through their life and stuff like that, so there's that at least. But so sometimes it could be a little tough.
Yeah, well,
for sure.
I appreciate the guests we've had on. I think just having like Felissa Rose, and Lana Quigley, and I mean, I had written them off. I'm like, they wouldn't come on our show, you know what I mean? So just the guests that we've had on, I'm really appreciative that they worked out. So we're working on kind of.
You're welcome, Sean.
Thanks. So thank you. I know you're working on the next batch. So we've had a couple episodes with Brian, and of course he's not here today. He's going to be out of commission for the next few shows, few weeks. He's doing like house, they're remodeling their house and crap, so he needs to focus on that.
Yeah.
So, he's gonna be doing that, and then hopefully we're gonna be getting some guests on. I know that, you're working hard on getting some new guests lined up.
Yes, I have some good ones coming. So.
Awesome. So that said, let's dive into talking about, ninja movies in general. Ninja movies are for me, it's kind of weird because they're one of my favorite kind of subgenres, but there's not a plethora of ninja movies, good ones to choose from. I mean, I remember having high hopes for Ninja Assassin, and while that movie has some decent action in it, I was pretty let down by it as, I was hoping for just an old school, like, ninja movie, and that was, I don't know, a little over the, I don't know, there's a lot of problems in that movie.
I think a lot of it, like, there's some really, I mean, to me, there's a ton of, between the span of like 81 and like 88, there's a huge span of ninja movies. And like, there's a lot of good ones and there's a lot of bad ones, but there's actually, I think the more, like, you consider not bad ones, but like, there's not really any bad ones per se, because they're all kind of fun.
Yeah, they're all kind of the same quality, if that makes any sense.
And I've always really, really dug that. Like any of the Godfrey Ho movies, even though like Godfrey Ho's looked at like, he's actually, he's got some really, really good films out there. And, I more or less focus on those. And, even like the American Ninja movies, there's those, even though people kind of, people make fun of the Dudikoff, but, he's pretty, I like him a lot. Yeah. So,
well, it's weird because I was kind of hoping for a resurgence cause we had the technology and, a lot of kind of B movie ideas are being put front and center in really good movies, and really good actors and directors wanted to tackle kind of B-level material. But I've always hoped for some big budget ninja movie, but we get things like, Last Samurai, things like that. And nothing really seems to stick, as far as that goes. If someone did a big budget ninja movie, they'd probably throw Tom Cruise in there as the lead instead of having it be like, a full on Japanese scale, movie.
Well, I think that more people tend to go to the samurai side more than, because I kind of split the two. I kind of split the two between samurai films and ninja films. But yeah, I think samurai stuff is more popular these days because I think putting on the black hood or red hood and having those, that is like as soon as somebody does that, you automatically think old. And I don't know if, like an older film, and I don't know if so many companies want to go down that route. And, I think having the sensei and ninjas like that, like more or less samurais is where, the route they want to go. I don't know.
Well, the closest we've gotten are the ninja movies with Scott Adkins.
Yeah, but even those, like, we're not getting a full,
right.
Like when you say to a movie nerd or, movie guy or anybody that's, loves that type of thing, as soon as you say ninja, the same thing I think of guys in black hoods that are like the minions. You have the one good guy that's in white, and then you have the one guy that's in black. And they have swords and weapons, but all the other ninjas have AK-47s. That's the first thing that I think about with those films. Yeah. And that always cracked me up, man. I can't even tell you how many times I watch the fucking ninja movie and the ninjas have guns or fucking AK-47s. Like, I think that's one of the funniest things there is with films like that.
Yeah.
It's like, why didn't you give everybody else a sword? Why does everybody have fucking AK-47s and shit? But, yeah.
Yeah, ninjas always end up being like the minions. Like, even in the newest, G.I. Joe movie, one of the best sequences in the movie, the Himalaya sequence with all the red ninjas,
Yeah.
Snake Eyes, it's a pretty badass scene, but, they're all just expendable minions, and then, of course, Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow are the, ninjas, quote unquote, but, Snake Eyes has an Uzi, but he's always had an Uzi since the 80s, so.
Yeah. I mean, it's just funny, like, how they all went down, not all, but a lot of them went down that route with having, guns and everything, but, I mean, it doesn't make them any less a movie. It actually makes them more enjoyable because they're kind of, there's certain films out there that are just absolutely ridiculous. And a lot of the Godfrey Ho films. Yeah. So.
Well, we have all the 80s ninja movies. I kind of am holding out for within the next 10 years. We got to have some big budget, ninja movie that will just be awesome. So, I don't know. I would love to see a period, ninja flick, just a badass ninja flick.
Something like Ninja 3, The Domination.
Well, that movie is a movie on its own. It's its own thing. But yeah, I mean, Ninja 3, The Domination is awesome for many, many reasons, which we will dive into a little bit later.
Dickey and V8.
Yes. And
which I have V8.
Oh boy.
I really do. I'm gonna drink some.
Are you gonna pour it over yourself?
With that, Sean?
I'm okay. Yeah. Are you gonna pour it over yourself and lick it off yourself?
No, I'm just.
I don't know if you're that flexible.
Or just making sure it didn't spill into my microphone. But anyways, yeah.
Good stuff. We're also gonna do top 5 ninja flicks a little bit later.
Well, you're doing top 5.
Oh Jesus! Yeah. Okay. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't pick many. I try to tone it down because I don't want to, because the thing is, a lot of these films, like, they kind of do the same thing. And, I didn't want to go overboard, with my list. So I toned it down a little bit.
Nice. Well, yeah, the ninja subgenre is one of those I feel like I've been trying to play, catch up. Because as a kid, I think my parents would always rent the American Ninja movies, and I was never allowed to watch them because they're rated R. And ever since then, I've been trying to watch them whenever I can. But so many movies, so little time.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring up, because Ninja 3 was put out by Canon Films. So I wanted to bring up the Canon Films, or is it the Canon Group? I don't know. But
Canon Films, Canon Group, yeah.
But recently, Menahem Golan passed away, and he was responsible for
a lot.
Was he was the main guy running Canon Films at the time, right?
Well, there's Golan and Globus, I believe. How does you pronounce it? Like there's two of those guys. But yeah. I mean, yeah, okay. He's the sole. I believe he was the sole one that was doing it at this point.
Yeah, and I have a soft spot for Canon Films. I mean, all the most memorable movies I have is, growing up watching kind of B-rated movies. Like for me it'd be stuff like Over the Top, right? With
I mean, there's an endless list of Canon films. Like, it's almost like you would have to dedicate a couple podcast episodes just to go through.
It's incredible.
But yeah, it's they're responsible for a lot of stuff, and they didn't care whether it was low budget or bigger budget. I mean, they pretty much released everything. I think they just loved cinema in general. Is the view that I got. So.
They did the break-in movies, the ninja movies, which Ninja 3 is the third ninja movie that they released. Enter the Ninja, Revenge of the Ninja, and then Ninja 3. But they also did the Last American Virgin.
Yeah,
which is
that too. Yeah,
that's a movie that you and Brian kind of told me that I should definitely check out, because I was hitting up Arrow Films. I was going to get a couple Blu-rays to inaugurate my new region-free player, and you guys recommended The Last American Virgin, and that movie's fantastic. If you guys haven't seen Last American Virgin, definitely check it out. If you, I believe is it available even on DVD at all, or is it only available?
Yeah, it got a DVD release.
So at least if people want to check it out, they can.
But yeah, there's a UK, of course, Arrow released it, and it's just one of those films. Like, I mean, we got a ton of 80s teen comedies, not like sex comedies, but just because we got a lot of those too. But wave of teen comedies like Say Anything and like Valley Girl. But there's a few out there that that just didn't get recognized. And I mean, I know the reason why. I mean, it's not too hard to tell, is that, Last American Virgin came out. It's very sexual. It has, a lot of nudity. It deals with a lot of like just fucking issues. Not like, there's like the boy likes girl shit, but there's like a lot of underlining shit in there that it wasn't like, oh, does he like me? Do I like her? Blah, blah, blah bullshit. It was that, but it had like a lot of hard hitting, I don't want to give anything away because it's actually an underseen 80s movie, but there's just a few things in there that really hit hard, and that ending. That's the reason why that movie didn't make it, because that ending is just fucking like devastating,
Yeah. Well, I think I kind of put it up there like right next to Fast Times at Ridgemont High with the kind of movie it is, because you think you're going to watch some comedy, right? And Fast Times at Ridgemont High was sold as a comedy.
Yeah, I mean,
but there's
that's actually a good comparison, because there's a few things in, Fast Times at Ridgemont High that like would hit home for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And, I think that was actually a good comparison.
Because I don't think I was expecting the kind of levity that Last American Virgin would have. I was expecting just some teen comedy, but there's some like amongst the shenanigans, there's some real like issues that it brings up, and I think I was really surprised by it. So
yeah.
But the Canon Group, gosh, what other movies? I mean, I'm looking through their list, and it's just. It's
endless.
like my child.
You can't do
my
it.
childhood.
You can't do it.
Bloodsport, Cyborg, Superman 4, Quest for Peace. Come on.
No.
I used to watch Superman 4 all the time as a kid. It was my favorite Superman movie.
That explains a lot.
Invasion USA, Chuck Norris, Death Wish 2 and 3. I mean, come on. So it's sad to hear, these guys passing away. But he was 85. So it's, I think he has a lot that we can remember him for, and he was responsible for a hell of a lot, so.
Yeah, because I think the other guy, he's still alive, right?
I think so. Don't quote me on that. I think so.
I think he's still alive. I mean, that sucks. It's almost like a husband and wife type deal, you know, because they've been together for, they both started that company, in probably like early 80s, I would say. Yeah. And, hopefully, I imagine they were partners to the end, because I think they went bankrupt, I think is what the deal was.
Yeah.
And of course they sold off all, I think MGM
has most of it.
Bought their stuff.
A couple Warner Brothers did a couple, so I think Scream Factory is going to be bringing the ones that were on, MGM, because I believe Invaders from Mars is one of the recent announcements, and I think that was one of theirs. Well, so I don't know. I'm looking on Wikipedia, so who knows if this is all.
Oh God, dude, get
right.
off Wikipedia!
I'm trying to see who owns these, who has rights to these movies, but Wikipedia is not the best place to look.
Probably not.
What would you think? Do you think there's a studio right now that's comparable to Canon, or no?
Like right now, it's active?
Yeah.
No.
The kind of B-level, like new movies. I'm not talking about re-releasing or whatever.
If you did anything, it would probably be Magnet.
Probably.
Because Magnet's kind of all over the place. But I don't think there's, there's Dark Sky that kind of jumbles around with stuff too. But as far as putting stuff out, really diverse is Magnet. Because, they'll do everything from comedies to bloodshed.
Yeah.
So I think Magnet releasing Magnolia, because Magnolia is more the classier stuff, which is, basically, the same company. But yeah, Magnet releasing is probably where to go. Because, they have stuff like, release the Ong Bak films and The Protector. And then they did fucking, some comedies here and there. And then, like Beyond the Black Rainbow. They're all from martial arts to sci-fi to comedy. They're everywhere.
I think these kind of labels start a certain way. Like I used to consider Lionsgate more of that, you know what I mean? In that kind of, that house, you know what I mean? Like horror,
I think back in the day, Lionsgate was like that.
Yeah, they were. They used to be, but then
I remember working like at Blockbuster, and fucking Lionsgate was just a direct-to-video label, basically.
Yeah.
They weren't even putting things in theaters. It wasn't until I think Saw was when they actually hit it huge.
Right.
And actually made a name for themselves and got quality stuff out there. But Lionsgate had a long run until they actually hit it fairly big, which now they're one of the biggest ones out there, which is hilarious. But that's awesome.
They started putting out I saw the change when they started putting, because I have kids, so I started seeing their name on like kids movies, Yeah. You're ready to watch Care Bears or something like that, and then the Lionsgate logo pops up. You're like, what the hell? Lionsgate.
Well, I'm pretty sure they even got to the point where they did because I know that they had American Psycho, and that was that was way before Saw. So they were in theaters before then. So like American Psycho was like 2001, 2000, something like that.
Then they put out The Descent.
Had that. Well, yeah, that was later, but now they're fucking doing the Hunger Games and shit.
Now they're just a studio. Yeah. They own a lot of horror titles that they will not release yet, but
yeah, they bought up, man. They bought up so much stuff. We do get DVDs, DVD releases from them here and there, like Slaughter High, Class of 1999, which is one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
The Chopping Mall. We get those, and they're decent transfers. But now we're getting this Blu-ray day and age that we want, better and more. And it'd be nice if they, release their catalog to people.
It would be nice. Speaking of DVDs and Blu-rays, do you have a list?
I have a long fucking list.
Holy shit! Let's dive into this list, and then we'll dive into the Ninja 3 portion of the show.
All right, are you ready?
Ready. Let's do this thing.
Do you like what you see? I love what I see.
Would you like to touch what you see?
Yes, I would.
All right, October 14th is Cauldron of Blood, released by Olive Films. And that's it.
Really? God damn it. Dude. Wow, all that's man, oh man, talking about the lead up to the music and all this kind of stuff, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's it. Ooh. But I mean, recently we've had Without Warning and Phantom of the Paradise released by Scream.
Yep.
We had Oculus, which I think we mentioned on the last show. I just want to give that a shout out again since Morgan Peter Brown was on the show. And then Grizzly got a release, but only the DVD. I believe that they're supposed to be working on the Blu-ray.
Yes, the last I heard, the Blu-ray isn't done, but it's just delayed. Yeah.
And then on the 12th, which is tomorrow, they have Motel Hell, which is being released, and Proxy by IFC. So don't forget to pick those up. So
Motel Hell. A little bit of news. The Eli Roth's Green Inferno. Everyone probably knows this by now, but that got shit canned, basically.
I wonder if like Scream Factory is going to step in and try to release that.
I don't know. I think that would be a smart move on their part. Like, I think there's an audience.
I don't think they have the money. They probably don't have the money because you're going to have somebody like fucking Lionsgate step in. Because I mean, Open Road was behind it. Like, they're getting pretty big, and you know they have the money. So I don't know. Maybe
it's
they
kind
just
of a weird.
I've heard through the grapevine that it was going to be a re-edit. And I don't think they had enough to go on, to be honest with you. That's what I've heard through certain people, but I don't know anybody like at Open Road.
A re-edit to tone it down or to try to help in the narrative?
No, to tone it down, to take out, because like the images that they're releasing and like even the teaser trailer they had points the movie to be a serious film. And it's not in the slightest serious. I mean, what happens is serious, but as far as taking the film like a serious tone, like it's not. And I actually had I was talking to one of my buddies. His name's Eric Dion. He's a cool guy. Shout out to Eric. He will never listen to this probably. But anyways, he and I were talking. I like posted like in our little horror Facebook group or whatever. And he said he still wants to see it, blah blah blah. And he said, despite of what you said, Brad, I still want to see it. And I said, honestly, dude, it's just a film that's not for me. And he made the statement like of where Roth has come from. Like he said, you don't like trauma films. He's like, and what you're telling me, what it sounds like is a trauma film. And he's absolutely right.
That's interesting.
Like it feels like a reinvention of a trauma movie because it has that seriousness on the side, but it just has this weird fucking comedy vibe that it tries to do that doesn't fit with the movie at all to me. And I know it didn't with a lot of people. So honestly, it's not that big of a surprise to me that they pulled it. Because it's not that great it's not that great. I mean, I know I know even Brian was on the show and he said, he said, just be honest. And I don't like to fucking publicly trash shit like that, but dude, it's not good.
Yeah. Well, and I know there are people who are really looking forward to it. So to them, it's a bummer that it's not going to get the theatrical release.
Yeah, because it's been talked about for like fucking 2 years. And it's been in festivals for about a year and a half. So people want to see it.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe the studio maybe they saw kind of the writing on the wall as far as that. This isn't going to make any money for us theatrically. So.
I got to drink some V8. So you can give me a second.
Oh, drink some V8. Do it. But who knows? But it's kind of a weird when a movie gets pulled like that. And I think, whether or not the movie's good or not or whatever, I'm never looking for a movie to fail, but it's just odd when that happens, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, kind of a weird situation. So, alright, so now we are jumping into talking about Ninja 3, The Domination.
He is the most feared and powerful warrior. A ninja who breaks from ancient tradition and explodes onto America. His soul possesses the body of an innocent woman and transforms her into a lethal assassin.
ninja. Destroy a ninja.
Her only hope is Yamada, the master ninja, who has been sent to destroy him. Where Revenge of the Ninja left off, Ninja 3 begins. An epic struggle of superhuman strength and supernatural forces. Ninja 3, the Domination.
Is there a colon on this?
Yes, probably.
I don't see one on the art. That means there's not a colon. So it's Ninja 3, the Domination.
Well, I don't know if you have to say it like that.
I know that whenever a movie comes out, like a sequel, like what most recently is Terminator Genesis or whatever.
No, it's Genwisis.
And there's no colon. People are like, there's no colon there. What am I supposed to do? And the same thing with Star Trek Into Darkness. It's not Star Trek Into Darkness. They're calling it Star Trek Into Darkness. And they're not Star Trek Into Darkness. It's a Star Trek movie. So people get crazy about the colon.
Wow, I'm pretty sure there's a colon. I'm just saying. Maybe not on the cover art, but I'm pretty sure.
Who cares?
Obviously you do, because you just wanted to fucking talk about it.
It's just that I just noticed that there wasn't a colon there, so it's pretty funny. So I didn't know if people had made that. Because even Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo has a colon.
Okay, whatever you want. Just fucking talk.
I found it. There we go. There's a colon.
Oh, Jesus.
This whole conversation happened for no reason.
Maybe you can take it out. Jesus.
Okay, here we go. Come on.
You're the worst.
I know. That's a horrible joke. Sorry, everybody who's taking notes on whether we're funny or not. All right, so Ninja 3, directed by Sam Firstenberg.
Oh, so that's what. Okay, I didn't pay attention to the director, but yeah, he's the one that fucking directed Electric Boogaloo. So that's the reason why she's probably in it. So there you go.
We have dotted the line.
I was unaware of
the dots, people.
him directing this. I didn't even actually. You know what? I always just thought it was the fucking probably the same dude. Did he direct? That name sounds so familiar. What the fuck else did he direct?
He directed
American Ninja for sure.
He directed Revenge of the Ninja too.
Okay, no, just Revenge of the Ninja. There's no Revenge of the Ninja 2.
I said no. He also directed Revenge of the Ninja.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, American Ninja. There's also a fucking badass movie called Avenging Force with Michael Dudikoff that he directed too.
Sweet.
So yeah, I'm trying to think of what else. You're always on IMDb, why don't you just
I'm not on IMDb.
Oh, God.
I'm on Wikipedia.
Oh,
he directed American Ninja and American Ninja 2, Break-In 2.
Yeah, there's something else. There's something else that I really like by him. But
Cyborg Cop. In the 90s, he did Cyborg Cop and American Samurai.
Yeah,
Avenging Force? Is that what you're thinking of?
No, I already said it. Yeah,
I'm just going to start throwing out names now.
Avenging Force is really, really funny because there's actually a part during the final climactic scene. He's Dudikoff's fighting on this upstairs, and there's a crew member that's like on the stairs, like all dressed in black, that looks like a ninja, that's like in frame. So he slowly starts to crawl down the stairs. And it's one of the funniest fucking things because he's like, it's not just a part of him, it's like a lot of his body is in the frame. And he just starts like backing up really slowly. It cracks me up because it's like anybody going like, it's not like they had a script supervisor on the set and they were like looking at dailies, because it seems like that didn't happen with these types of movies back then. Like no one reviewed dailies. And,
probably not, no.
And, I mean, I would hope they did, but I don't think that really happens because of these films that are released.
Deadly Eyes, they did dailies. So, that was a pretty low budget.
Where'd you hear that from?
The commentary, it was one of the interviews.
They actually speak to the script supervisor is that probably, I was thinking
all I know is they were talking about the dailies were really funny because of all the dogs and stuff.
Oh, that's pretty funny, actually.
Sorry, taking a drink of water.
Yeah, but it's not V8.
Hydrate. That's all I think about now after I've seen Oculus. Okay. So, Sam Firstenberg directed this, and they say it stars Sho Kosugi. Is it Sho or Sho Kosugi?
Kosugi.
Huh?
Oh God.
Because I'm going to pronounce it like literally like how it looks.
All right, why don't you do that?
Kosugi?
That does not look like, if you're going to pronounce
Kosugi.
it like that. What? Just stop. I believe it's Shao Kosugi.
Kosugi.
But we should have my friend Jay Hawkinson on the show. I'm pretty sure
he would say it, dude. He's gonna.
But yeah, Shao. He'll probably.
He's rolling his eyes right now.
Yeah, he's gonna definitely tweet at us. He's like, "You morons."
It totally is. Sorry, Jay.
But anyways, he is the fucking man in general. Yeah. Like, he's been in, so many good fucking, because one of my lists for Brian Sauer, when he did his underrated action movies, one of my films that are in there called Rage of Honor, and he's in that movie, and he's just so badass, and he's only had the lead role in just a few films, but the films that he's been in, he just fucking kicks so much ass, He's just so badass. And I mean, he was in, it's so funny because he's in Enter the Ninja and Revenge of the Ninja and Ninja 3, which they're all together, but none of them really correlate with one another.
Yeah, they're not
but
direct
he plays,
sequels.
Yeah, he plays in the movies. He's always in the movies, but he plays a fucking different character.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where he's just so, badass, where they're like, well, we gotta use him again. Let's just give him a different name or whatever.
Yeah.
But, he's actually in one of my, top 5, top 6, whatever, ninja films as well, one of these movies.
He was actually in Ninja Assassin.
Yeah, he played the lead villain.
Totally passed over my head when I was watching that movie.
Yeah, he played the lead villain in that, which is really badass. And he did some, TV here and there, but yeah.
Nice. I have no, yeah, okay. I'm mad at myself for not recognizing him in Ninja Assassin because that's just dumb of me.
It's a little bad.
It is.
I'm not going to harp on
it. And also, of course, we mentioned Lucinda Dickey.
Yes.
Who's fantastic.
She's good. No, I love her in this.
For the kind of movie, it's fantastic.
She's like a robot. If people don't know the plot of the movie, because this is probably one of the underseen Screen Factory releases.
So we better break out the plot. Go.
Yeah, so she's an aerobic instructor, and there's basically this spirit, I guess you would say, of this ninja that's dying, and basically the spirit inherits her body, and she becomes the ninja. I mean, that's pretty much right there. I mean, I don't think I'm wrong. You can stop me if I'm wrong, but yeah. No. And so they find out the only way that she can be saved is that she has to fight another ninja.
That makes sense to me.
That's pretty insane. But anyways, that happens. I mean, this is based on a true story.
My one criticism of Ninja 3, the Domination.
You're going to criticize Ninja 3?
Is, I don't think does she end up in that pose that's on the cover? That's on the poster?
Yeah, I mean, she has, they have her in the hood, during, fight scenes and stuff.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, she, puts on this fucking makeup and everything, but, yeah, I believe she shows not that exact pose that you're thinking of, the theatrical poster.
Right, and that's a shame.
I mean, her face looks like that. I mean, how could you not want to record that face on video?
Well, I know, but never mind. Never mind. And on the poster, she's half naked, pretty much. Not half naked, but
Well, there's a good V8 scene. That's all I'm saying. Maybe you want to drink V8. Makes me want to drink V8 right now. So
I'm trying to when do we talk about the V8 scene? I guess we could talk about it now. right?
Yeah.
So there's a romantic element to the movie.
I don't know how romantic it is. Because number one, it's V8. All right? We're not talking about that new like V8 shit that's in stores now, like the tropical medley and bullshit. No, this is like hardcore tomato juice. You know, so you have this hardcore fucking tomato juice scene, and this guy that she's with, I fucking forget his name, is hairy as fuck.
Thank God. Jordan Bennett, representing for all of us hairy men.
Well, I'm hairy too, but this guy is overly hairy.
He's hairier than me.
No, it's like a fucking jungle fort, and like all I picture is that pouring V8 on him, and then it gets stuck in his hair, and it actually doesn't run down anywhere. It just like settles like in his hair and shit, and it's just like it is gross, and then like the hair starts sticking to you, and it's just not romantic at all.
Right? It's meant to be this sexy love scene, and for some reason they
obviously weren't going for a fucking comedy.
No,
like there's no way.
So yeah, it's supposed to be this like instead of whipped cream and strawberries, people, they're using V8, and I don't know if that they obviously had to do some product placement. But they decided to do it.
Can you imagine how many fucking takes like they kept fucking up or something? God. And like I just bet I imagine that's why Lucinda Dickey just stopped acting.
That's probably why.
Because she was afraid that the V8 thing is going to come up again.
Dude, probably.
So.
You know what? She probably was asked about that scene so many times that she said, "Screw it, I'm going to quit acting."
God, dude, I can only imagine. Jesus.
I mean, that scene's hilarious. But I don't know.
It's great. I mean, it plays fantastic in the in the movie itself. But it's just like it's just so weird, because I mean the movie already has this weird vibe. Like, when she goes to leave, like after she basically gets attacked and almost raped, and she just like kicks. Like it's just an awkward scene. Like everybody's like standing around watching. And it's just like, why aren't you helping the girl that's like taking on 5 dudes? And she's just an aerobic instructor. She's not fucking, I mean, obviously she has inherited ninja capabilities, but just the fact that people just to kind of ignore it bother me a little bit. But I mean, that's like nitpicking. So sorry, Sean, go ahead and talk.
I don't know if I have anything else to say. I mean, I'm still thinking about V8, but, she
Speaking
starts,
of which, I should take a drink.
She starts, basically she's possessed by the ninja and, basically goes out in the evenings and starts taking people out.
Dominates is what she does.
Yeah. And I want to say like the weapons are like, when she finds, every ninja movie has to have the weapon scene, the suit up.
Oh no, yeah, it's great. If we didn't have that, then the movies would suck.
I know. I mean, movies like Rambo had that kind of scene, where they're getting all the gear on.
All laid out, and they slowly, put it away. Like it's just fucking great.
I love it. She goes it's in a cave, right? And she opens up the box, and they're all just right there.
Yeah, and everything's just perfectly lined up. I mean, it's the same thing with like him in the beginning. Like, it's just hilarious how that shit always turns up, but anyways. There's no AK-47.
No, there's not.
I was confused. I didn't know it was a ninja movie. I didn't know it was a ninja movie because there's no AK-47.
It's been a while since I've seen the other ninja movies, and they're out there, man, I'm due for a rewatch on those, but,
oh, not me. I have them.
Do the other two, Enter the Ninja and Revenge of the Ninja, do they have that suit up scene?
Yeah, I mean, as I recall,
I can't remember.
I don't know of a ninja movie that doesn't, to be honest with you.
There you go.
So.
Prerequisite ninja suit up moment.
But yeah, both of those are actually on Blu-ray over in Germany, and I have both of those.
How's the transfer quality on those?
Better than anything we have. I mean, I'm not going to go out of my way to say that they're excellent, but my thing from Germany is that when you get a lot of stuff from Germany, Blu-rays and everything, you're going in for a hit or miss.
Yeah.
Because the quality is decent, but something's always up with the sound. Like, I don't know what it is. Like there's a company, if anybody is interested and buys that stuff, there's a company, NSM Records, that release some really, I mean, they're releasing, Stone Cold, Brian Bosworth movie. They've released Trick or Treat. They've released Black Roses. But for some reason, also The Sentinel, which is one of my favorite horror films. The sounds it sounds like it's in a box.
That's unfortunate.
The whole entire time, and it's a little odd. But I actually found a way to do a setting on my Blu-ray or my sound system in order to make it not sound like that. So, I found a way. I don't know if that's, saying, okay, let's buy everything. But, yeah, the sounds always just a little funky and a little off.
Man, the thing with those movies, especially the ones you brought up, that company, they create the sexiest box. If you're, I mean, don't really have a boner for packaging as much as I used to, but damn, those media books look really good.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, like, you have to be careful because they have like two types of media books. Like, they have like the regular packaging, I guess, and then they have like the hard hard case booking media books that are fucking phenomenal. But then they have these plastic ones that are actually bigger. Oh. That are, like, remind me of the old, like, big box VHS tapes, and I think that's what they're going for, because I bought the Sentinel on Blu-ray, and I got one of those boxes, and I was like, okay, I mean, that's still cool, but I can't put that shit anywhere. Like, I have to put it to the side because it's so fucking big. But it is kind of flimsy, but they also are cheaper. And all those actually are limited edition, and they all have numbers on them, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, I think there's only like 222 of those fucking Sentinel boxes, and I have one of them.
You lucky bastard. The problem with being friends with Brad is you want to spend a lot of money because he mentions he's always has his finger to the pulse of every release that is interesting to me, and I got to be careful. Brad's going to make me go broke.
Sorry about that. Well, I mean, I like to, I mean, plus I also do the research, and I've, made a couple buys here and there where I'm like, ugh, I don't know, like, I'm going to test it out. But, I mean, because with some of this stuff, you actually have to search for it and really have to look hard for it, because it's just not right out there, and you have to know what you're getting yourself into, because sometimes you could get some shit.
Yeah. All right. Back to Ninja 3, everybody.
What, Ninja 3? We're talking about Ninja 3?
Yeah. Do you have anything else to bring up?
There's a V8 scene in the movie that's really fucking crazy, and I just don't get, but I mean, it's there. I mean, it happens.
It does happen. What are some other scenes that kind of stick out to you, that people should be, if they watch
scene where they're in that, like, voodoo place, and they, like, tie her up by her arms, and then she just starts fucking spinning. Just like the evil spirits starting to come out. Yeah. It's just so funny. I just don't get it. Like, the thoughts behind this movie and like where they went with it was just like, it's just that, sometimes you have to look at it this way. Because in this film, it's not the case because it had this, it's probably an American director. I mean, Sam Firstenberg.
No, actually he's not.
Well, I'm sorry. Films that are like made in America and stuff like that.
Yeah, like, I mean, they definitely had an idea what they're going for.
I mean, he directed Electric Boogaloo, so I wouldn't say like, well, what nationality is he?
I was trying to listen to his accent during the commentary, and I can't quite place it.
But he speaks English fairly well, though.
Yeah,
correct?
Yeah, yes, totally.
Okay, so I mean, he's spoken English for a while, even on the set of this movie. But sometimes you have to take into account that sometimes they hire like these foreign directors, and the translation stuff, it just doesn't translate like on film as like you would think it would, because I know that like, for example, I like to bring up one, Troll 2. The people that directed Troll 2 fucking hardly, like, I don't even think they spoke English. Now, you look at that movie at that point, like on that out, like thinking about that changes the whole aspect of it. Like knowing that they probably really thought this was scary or whatever, and it just came across as cartoonish just because of like translation issues. Mm-hmm. That's how I, kind of view all that.
Yeah, and I don't think that's the case on this movie.
No, that's definitely not the case. So you had some guy that knew what V8 was, and like I wonder if that was a discussion. Like, if that was like, oh, what could we possibly use? And then they thought the best idea was, I mean, even product placement, go after something else than V8. Because I guarantee you everybody's going to raise an eyebrow when you pull that out. Like, everybody try that shit. Because I guarantee you, for the guys that listen to the show, if you got a girlfriend, wife, or whatever, when you're in the bedroom, pull out a can of V8 and just watch what she does. I guarantee you, nobody, even V8 enthusiasts, like, are not going to want V8 poured on their body, and especially on their couch. Like, they poured it on the couch.
That's ridiculous. That'll take a while to get out.
Yeah, but
there is so many just batshit scenes in this movie. I kind of like, we can go on and just, it's one of those movies that gives. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Well, that opening, for example, the opening action scene alone is just fucking crazy.
Yeah, on the golf course where they try to escape, the people try to escape on a golf cart from a ninja. and as he picks up the golf cart, like, do they jump out? No, they just stand there and go, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, that was
get out of the golf cart,
ridiculous. People. But yeah, the fight scene goes on forever.
Yeah.
And it's actually extremely entertaining.
Yeah,
and
totally.
It's definitely one of the reasons why I like the movie, especially like when they have him surrounded and then you just fucking gun him down. Like what you expect to happen, it's just like fucking complete opposite.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's so classic. Oh god.
Oh, another thing sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead, Sean.
Brad. Well,
go ahead.
I wanted to say, I have in my notes here, she has like an arcade, I can't remember what game it is, but she actually has like a
bouncer, I believe
big old arcade.
Yeah, because I looked at that, and I think I don't know if I looked it up how long ago. I think when I watched the movie last, because I didn't watch it that long ago. But yeah, that was like a failed arcade game, and it never actually got put out. But Brian Sauer would probably be a good one for that one because he collects old arcade games.
He probably owns it.
Knowing him, that motherfucker, he probably does.
So anyway, I mean the movie's great. I don't want to spoil all the
fantastic,
set pieces in this movie.
Yeah, it's hard. It's
hard to just talk.
To.
It's hard to talk about an action scene. Do you remember that part when that one thing happened? But
yeah,
the movie's great, and I highly recommend the Scream Factory's Blu-ray here because it's not as far as the extras go. It's not there's nothing there other than the commentary, but the commentary is really entertaining. So you have the director Sam Firstenberg, and then you also have the stunt coordinator Steve Lambert, and he gives some nice little nuggets about that opening scene, especially where he played the ninja in most of that scene. And then he also played like many of the cops. So it's pretty fun hearing him talk about how they filmed that. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else from that commentary, but it's moderated by I think he runs Icons of Fright.
Rob Galuzzo?
I think so, yeah. I think he moderates it, but he doesn't really,
I'm sorry, Rob, if I mispronounced.
I think
your name.
so. He introduced himself at the beginning, but it's one of those things where the director and the stunt coordinator, they both have so much to talk about. He really just has to sit back and kind of.
Yeah, I mean that's a movie that has a thousand questions for sure.
But it's great, great commentary, and it looks pretty fantastic too.
Yeah, no, the transfer is great. But my question is, because I pondered the fact that like where this came from with Scream Factory, because I mean there's kind of like a horror element, but it's nothing that they would go after unless somebody really liked this. But I think this is one of the cases where this is one of the releases where they got with a deal or, you know,
maybe, yeah.
came in a pack. Cause I mean, just releasing it with hardly any, you know, basically, bare bones, Blu-ray for the most part. I mean, I think it has like an art, you know, like a picture gallery or something like that. But, yeah, it's just an odd one that why they didn't pair this up with something else or try to release it with the other, Ninja films.
Yeah.
You know, cause I think that would have been a super badass set. I don't know if, you know, because the thing is, Scream bases itself, you know, a horror company, but they have had releases, and I know
they've
why.
done Assault on Precinct 13,
but I think that's more or less like a John Carpenter thing, because now they're doing Escape from New York.
Right.
They also have like Mad Max coming out, and you know, I'm glad they're branching out, because I mean, just doing all horror, you're really, really going to limit yourself.
Yeah, I look at a more kind of a genre label, kind of even more like Shout Factory, like the movies they release. I feel like it's more nostalgia, like you know, things like UHF. I think things like that make sense for Shout.
Yeah, like kind of like a pulp culture type thing. Like I could. That's how I view that label more.
Mm-hmm.
Because I imagine that they before you know, Scream existed, because they had this really cool thing. People probably don't know it happened, but Shout Factory kind of did this limited edition thing for a little while called Shout Selects. And I think they only like released a few movies on the label, but they were a limited edition, and you can only get it through their website. You can't get them anywhere else. And they released one of my favorite movies called Fear City. And it's like fucking Tom Berenger, Billy D. Williams. It's just this really bad fucking ass movie. And it got a Blu-ray release. I was fucking ecstatic. And you know, you can only get through. So there you go, Sean. Pull out your wallet. It's like $24.99, $29 or something like that. But it's just so good. And you know, it seems like one of those films that could have been like shouldn't have been released on Shout's label.
Yeah. And
I think it's getting more like that. It's kind of like, because I think they did they actually did a poll for The Shadow. Do you remember that? When they released in The Shadow, he said, do you think this belongs to Shout's label or Scream's label? You know, and ultimately it went to Shout, which makes sense, because it's, you know, it's kind of one of those pulp culture things, because even when they released Tank Girl, all those films kind of fall into place with one another. Right. And
it seems like there's some that kind of straddle the line, and this is one of them. You know, this and Assault on Precinct 13 and all those kind of straddle that line.
I think with John like anything John Carpenter, they just kind of want another under the Scream label. But yeah, this one, honestly, this one wouldn't have fit under like, you know, Shout's name in a way of their past releases.
I think the supernatural element that's in, that's in
like
Ninja
I said, there's a couple horror elements, but it really is kind of an off-brand, movie for them to release.
Yep. Well, I highly recommend this one. I think it's probably fairly cheap right now.
And it's also one of those films that I've heard through, Jeff, like, speaking about it didn't do well. So yeah, this is definitely one, because you're not gonna have a bad time with this movie, because if you go into it knowing that it's going to be goofy and fun, and especially coming off Enter the Ninja and Revenge of the Ninja, this is definitely a movie to watch, because I guarantee you'll have a good time.
Yeah, and watch it with I would say watch it with friends. You know, get some drinks and stuff together, and you know, it's one of those would be really fun to watch with a group of like-minded people.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into our top ninja movies.
Sid, don't you blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
Okay, never mind. Fine. Bum.
No, jeez.
All right. Hey, I got a question, because I don't even know. I'll just ask this on the air.
Oh, God.
What does that mean? How was I going to ask a legitimate question?
I'm kidding.
Jesus. I know that we are using the Wolfman and Mars song, but like, I can't listen to that song anywhere else. I just listen to snippets. Did you add the segment from Scream?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's really nice touch, Sean.
Nice. Thank you. I had some fun. It's daunting when you
That's one of my all-time favorite lines from a movie as well. So like there's a few lines that really get me, and that is definitely one of them because it's so perfect.
Yeah, and the one that I used for the Blu-ray announcements, a lot of you may not know. Little slight, we're going to deviate from course here for a second, but that's from. I'm having a brain fart all of a sudden. Oh my gosh, Samurai Cop.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
It's from Samurai Cop, which there's a Kickstarter for Samurai Cop 2.
Oh God! For real?
For real, and they're bringing back the original dude. And if you pay $60, and hold on, let me finish. if you pay $60 next year, this time next year, you'll get Samurai Cop and Samurai Cop 2 on Blu-ray. So I'm on the fence, man. I don't know if I want to, $60 is a lot, especially for me right now. In a year from now, I probably confront that money, but anyway, there is a Kickstarter if you want to help fund Samurai Cop.
This is actually really, really funny. So, I've just found it. Mm-hmm. It fucking has porn stars in it. What the fuck?
Yes. I don't know.
I'm looking at it right now, and it's like, all right, so they got Robert Zadar, which is fucking he's amazing, and Eddie Deason, which is great. Fucking George Lazenby. So this is like a full throttle sequel. This isn't some kind of just fan shit. This is
this is a full on sequel. Matt Hannon, Mark Fraser.
But Amir Shervan isn't directing it, is he? Because no. Oh God, he died. I forgot. My God, he died.
Way to go.
Yeah, that guy, he's directed, I like Samurai Cop, but he has this movie called this is the exact title, Killing American Style. And it is so fucking good. And it was just released on DVD this year, but it has fucking Jim Brown, Robert Zadar, and this one guy named Harold Diamond. This guy was he so close to having this fucking huge career, and he got his start with I'm brave for Andy Sedaris, because he was in a film called Hard Ticket to Hawaii, which is one of the best booby action films you'll ever see. There's fucking Death by Frisbee in that shit. There's just bazookas out of nowhere blowing people off skateboards. That movie is just insane. And he plays the character Jade, and he was reprised this role because kind of all the Andy Sedaris movies kind of followed one another. The same characters, same boat, that kind of shit. But Picasso Trigger was the next film that he was in, and he's also in Rambo 3. For a little while, but he's in this movie called Killing American Style that's just fucking off the wall. And the tagline to the movie, I believe, was, there are all types of killings, the best is American Style. Oh, God. And it's actually the same label that released Samurai Cop. But yeah, Amir Shervan, he directed a few movies. Hollywood Cop was another one that I actually have never seen, but I always heard good things. But fucking Samurai Cop 2.
Dude,
Jesus.
The only thing that kind of makes me a little bit wary of this is...
You get to be with one of the porn stars in the movie. No?
No, they already have a good portion of the budget in place, but this is to kind of secure everything and distribution and everything like that. But they also want to secure stronger CGI effects. Which is God, well, you guys did it without CGI effects back in the early 90s or whatever when Samurai Cop came out. Just do it that way, just do it old school. Why do you need to secure, CGI effects? Cause I'm assuming it's going to be for blood, which if that's the case, I'm going to have a friggin' aneurysm. But, so that's why
they want $50,000 and they've only raised 20,
I don't know. The idea is awesome, but it's one of those things where.
That's just an odd thing, man. That's just an odd, I mean, because if they made a sequel to something that's huge underground, I think Samurai Cop it was hard for Samurai Cop to get success because I believe that's one of the movies that didn't even have a VHS release.
Huh.
I want to say, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that just bootlegs of that came out like that. I don't think that thing ever hit VHS. And it was kind of a lost movie. People knew about it and it was pirated. But I always thought that was a little odd. I believe I'm thinking of the same movie. Yeah. Are you going to look that up to prove me wrong, Sean?
No.
What the fuck, dude? You should do that. Be like, anyway. Brad.
Nah, we need to be moving on here, but I wanted to do a brief plug for Samurai Cop.
Bring out the whip. Bring out the whip.
All right. They thought he was dead. He was just cooling off. I would say if they try to do this as practical as possible and don't do CGI blood and anything like that, it could be awesome. But I kind of have a feeling it's going to look like a Sci-Fi Channel flick. So that's why I haven't backed the project yet, people. I'm a bit wary. Cause if I'm going to do it, dude, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get I'm going to do it to get the 2 Blu-rays. I'm going to pay $60 and do it right. But,
yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, to be honest, dude, like a lot of those Kickstarters like that want a lot, that promise those things. I mean, they just never end up making the movie. And I'm going to quote myself now on this: the Samurai Cop was never released on VHS.
There you go.
So I just looked it up. I don't see anything. So
I remember when Harbinger Down did their Kickstarter and they didn't have a Blu-ray section, so I didn't back that movie for quite a long time.
Why, dude? They were promising practical effects.
Well, yeah, they were, but I want the frickin' Blu-ray. You know what I mean? Not the digital download. But they finally came out with with a Blu-ray option, and I spent $40.
Well, see, here's the thing with that is that from an outside stance of knowing how this works, like they say Blu-ray release. Well, number one, the movie, they got to make the fucking movie. Number one. Number two, they have to get distribution. These movies don't have distro yet, maybe. Yeah. And I kind of feel bad for the filmmakers because they promise the movie on DVD or Blu-ray, and who knows if it actually is going to get released. And if it does, because I know we had Bria Grant on the podcast for the Night of the Comet episode, and I know when she did the Best Friends Forever, I put money towards that. One of her perks was DVD. Well, that movie didn't get distro for a long time.
Yeah, it took
and I remember her talking about the fucking hate mail. Like, people would turn on her, and, just say, hey, where's the DVD? You promised this. Well, it's like, hey, it's coming. Like, we're getting it. Just, calm down. And that's one thing I would, if I ever did a project like that, I wouldn't fucking mention a Blu-ray or DVD. Cause that's just, a fucking nightmare waiting to happen.
Yeah.
You sell an item on eBay and you don't have it shipped out the day that they pay. If you don't ship it, go down to the post office at 10 p.m. so they can have it in 2 days, dude, you get fucking emails like a motherfucker. People just don't know how to wait these days.
It's crazy. All right. Let's jump into our top 5. Sorry, everyone. We went down a little rat hole there.
All right. If it's a rat hole.
Brad, I want you to start off with your top whatever list.
What does that mean? That's like no signs of encouragement.
For you or for me?
For me. I don't even want to do it now.
It's for me because I'll probably just say, these 5 that Brad mentioned, they're on mine. So go for it, man.
Do you think we're going to match?
Maybe. Go for it. Well, no, I don't know. Well, there may be a couple.
Wow. I'm going to be really impressed if we match any. Because one thing that I grew up on, on USA fucking Up All Night, when I discovered that there was ninja movies, I went for ninja movies. And I actually have a shit ton of fucking ninja movies on VHS. And it was really, really hard to come down with this list because I think I got a total of 7. I'll do some honorable mentions, but, Ninja Destroyer is one of my favorites. I have that on VHS. It's like fucking 74 minutes. It's fantastic. It's Godfrey Ho, one of his movies, and all his movies kind of are the same. Phoenix of the Ninja was another one that I really like, that it has the fucking VHS release. But those are 2 honorable mentions. I'm just gonna fucking start naming them. I don't have a top 5.
Do it.
Ninja Avengers, which is also under the name Ninja Operation 6. Godfrey Ho directed this one too. He just out of nowhere did Ninja Operation 5. He's done Ninja, like, probably 20 of his films, 30 of his films. I mean, he's done a lot, but I'm just saying 30 alone probably have the word ninja in it. And, but he just, I guess he started making like sequels to these, but, Ninja Operation 6 is really, really fucking good and very cheesy. Kind of like the ultimate thing that you think about when you, think about ninjas and like fucking black hoods and shit. Kind of an off one, The Hunted with Christopher Lambert, come out in 1995.
Oh, sweet.
It's a decent movie.
Christopher Lambert, right? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, I say Lambert.
I say Lambert too.
Yeah. But, Pray for Death, which was, I mentioned that, Kosugi, sorry, not Kazuki. Damn it. I fucked that up.
Kabuki.
But, okay, I thought you said Bukkake. But Pray for Death, came out in like 1985. It's so fucking good. And, like anything that he's the lead in, he just knocks it right out of the park. And of course he was in, Enter the Ninja and Revenge of the Ninja, which he played in that. Franco Nero plays in, Enter the Ninja, which is like 1981, I think that came out, which is ultimately the first, Enter the Ninja is the first one, Revenge is the sequel, and then what we're talking about today is Ninja 3 is the third one, but none of them really correlate with one another. The Ninja Mission, which is, I believe is 1984, directed by, Matt, Helge, I think is how you pronounce it. One of those just fucking off the wall ninja movies and great fight scenes and stuff like that. And another one, my number one, we'll just say, is The Octagon with Chuck Norris, and that's released on Blu-ray by Scorpion. But that's one of those movies it's just top notch fucking ninja shit.
Damn it, it's out on Blu-ray now. I gotta buy it. See, look at you.
Scorpion. Oh, let's give a quick shout out to Scorpion releasing. Since they're killing it. They're
holy shit, they're killing it.
They're one of the underrated fucking ones. Everything they release is just fucking gold. But anyways, we announced a couple episodes ago they did a deal with Kino, which Kino's gonna be, they're partnering with Kino and everything. However, some of their films are going out of print. Ultimately, all of them that are just released under Scorpion are going to be out of print, apparently. So they released the first batch, which is going to be Tomboy, Pom Pom Girls, My Tutor, Flavia the Heretic, and what was the other one, Sean? Wasn't there 5? No.
I just got Beach Girls, but that one's not going out of print yet.
Yeah, Beach Girls, which is fucking one of their best movie, one of the best sex comedies there is. But,
I can't remember the other one.
Yeah, there's a few of them, so definitely pick those up because those are going to be films that are going to skyrocket in price, and then a year later you're going to be like, holy shit, I had no idea this was released on Blu-ray. Yeah. Because like their movies are great, their transfers are great, but their fucking promotion sucks ass. Like, you can't get shit off their website. Their website doesn't even have them fucking work half the time.
I don't think it's even been updated in a while.
You can't even buy anything on there, and you just have to basically get all off of eBay or Amazon. But, like, these things they're gonna be up there, because once this out of print thing goes, we all know how that happens, and they all jack up in price. So.
Pom Pom Girls is already starting to skyrocket. I mean, that's not a horror movie, but it's I ordered it on Amazon, and then I kind of bid on it on eBay just to kind of be safe. And I won the eBay, and then I of course I got it on Amazon. Well, the Amazon seller must have got wind that these are going out of print, canceled my order. Son of a bitch. But luckily I got it at a really cheap price on eBay, but I can't find it for that price on eBay at all anymore. I mean, it's
one of those things where, like, if you're into, I mean, cause like the sex comedies they have released, like Tomboy and, like I said, Pom Pom Girls, Beach Girls, My Tutor, like those are some really, really good, sex comedies, and they're definitely worth picking up, and anything that they release, because they're doing really, really good work, and I really, really love Scorpion releasing. So yeah, definitely pick those up.
Yep. I thought the Scream Factory was going to do me in as far as me wanting to buy. So I was like, well, they'll be the only label that I follow. They're doing what I want. And then all of a sudden, all these, Scorpion, all the titles that they've announced.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh no.
They have a ton more, man. They're just knocking it right out of the park.
Flavia the Heretic looks right up my alley, and I need to grab that one before it jumps in price. So that's next on my list.
And if anybody is curious, like eBay, like I think Movie Mars is one of the bigger companies that sell on eBay. Like their shit's really, really cheap with Scorpion, and I picked up all their titles under $15 on there.
Cool.
So that's where
Mars is pretty legit.
Yeah. Yeah, and they have good. The only thing they don't do is they don't combine shipping, which is the only downfall to that. But you get the movies for pretty cheap.
Yeah,
so.
I think that's the kind of trade off. All right, well, I'll jump into my top 5. I feel like I feel like my top 5. I mean, the thing is like I see like Brad, like you've seen kind of all the I guess underrated movies, like horror movies and stuff like that. So I can always count on you and Brian to kind of bring up lesser known titles. I look at myself as like I was a mainstream moviegoer. You know what I mean? As a kid, I always kind of looked for the more of the mainstream stuff. So my list, I always feel like they're pretty predictable, but we'll but maybe that's just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm too hard on myself. These are
You're being too hard on yourself.
Am I? Okay. These are not listed in any particular order. American Ninja.
Yes.
Is up there.
Fucking Dudikoff.
Dudikoff,
American
man.
Ninjas. Yeah.
It is supremely entertaining. And, I remember, this was on Netflix for a while. I'm not sure if it still is up there, but, recently, within the past few years, caught it on Netflix and, had a hoot rewatching this. Revenge of the Ninja. Of course, it's probably one of the earliest kind of full-on R-rated ninja movies I saw as a younger kid. Ninja 3 had to move up there on this list because it's just so batshit crazy. You got, like we've said, it's kind of, I wanted to mention this too. They said when they're in the commentary, they were kind of trying to combine, all the ninja movies, things that you'd expect. And then I guess the year that they were releasing it or that they were shooting it, Poltergeist was really popular. So that was the idea that kind of drove them to move more supernatural because of the popularity of Poltergeist. You mentioned this, The Octagon. Good old Chuck Norris against ninjas.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong there. And then, finally,
a cult of ninjas, by the way.
A cult of ninjas. And then, finally I mentioned earlier, Ninja 2 starring Scott Adkins. And he did kind of a lower budget ninja movie the same year Ninja Assassin came out. And his ninja was far more entertaining than Ninja Assassin, was. And then Ninja 2 came out and, I mean, that movie just kicks a lot of ass. I know it's kind of, you wish there were more ninjas in it, but Scott Adkins is such a force to be reckoned with, I think, in his martial arts skills. That, and that movie
I really dig. I like him a lot.
I think the movie's mostly practical. I don't think there's any CG in that one at all.
Yeah, I think one and two. Yeah. I'm not a fan of those movies, but I love Scott Adkins. Yeah. He's fucking great.
The first Ninja was okay, but like, it was
better. I didn't like it.
But it was better than Ninja Assassins. You gotta admit that.
Dude, watching paint dry is better than Ninja Assassin. The only reason that movie's any decent is because, Show or Shao.
Yeah.
Kosugi.
Right, he plays the villain, but I mean, I recently rewatched Ninja Assassin. I don't think it's as bad as I initially thought, but goddamn, that CG blood and the CG gore. Can people just stop with it?
It's not good.
Anyway, Ninja 2, starring Scott Adkins. It's legit. And, it's better than the first one for sure. So, give it a shot. It's the best modern ninja movie we've had so far. So.
And let's never forget Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Well, that's on my, honorable mentions is the original frickin' Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That, I don't think any Ninja Turtle movie that they come out with after that will top it. I don't know.
2. Secret of those.
Dude, you're so wrong.
No, okay, alright. Number 1, don't say I'm wrong. Number 2, I'm not saying it's better than the original because there's a lot of things in the original that is super badass, but part 2 has some parts in it that, like, people look at that Token Razor thing as corniness. Like, it fucking has Vanilla Ice in it, and the fucking ninjas dance.
Okay, alright. Well.
Like, if you're gonna take these, like, I mean, honestly, I think well made, like, Teenage Mutant Turtles is just a well-made, like, even though it's kind of a kid's thing, it's really well done. It's really well shot. The fight scenes are fucking phenomenal. But, I mean, I'm just giving you a hard time. But I actually do like Secret of the Ooze. But the first one, I mean, there's just so much, like, badass shit.
Yeah, it's good, man.
In that movie. And just the fight scene with Raph on the fucking rooftop. Mm-hmm. You know? That's good. So, like, it's just so fucking good. It really is. And like, whenever they start, he's like kicking everybody's ass. And like, he just like steps back. And he's like, so you guys, I heard you guys are studying the bridge art of ninja fighting. It's just so, just that line and just like his attitude is just fucking classic.
Yeah, I haven't seen the new one yet. I may be taking my boy for his birthday. I don't have any high hopes for it at all. But
kids will like it. Kids will like it for sure.
But I feel like the original one just had a sense of wit to it that I feel like I don't know if they can capture it on this new one. You know what I mean? This new one seems very sterilized.
And they don't. And I mean, it's the one thing I really like. I'm torn with the movie, and I didn't like the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I didn't like it at all. But when I was in the theater, I sat down in the theater, and I was with Willow. She's my 9-year-old daughter, and her and I were sitting there, and you know, she's like fucking eating her ice sherbet or whatever the hell she had. And I'm just like looking around, and there's like fucking kids pouring in with like Turtles t-shirts. There's families like dressed. Like, they have, like, these paper shells on the back. And I live in a small town. Like, I mean, it's not super small, but it's just not the town where you would expect something like that. Movies aren't a big thing around here. But, like, there was people wearing makeup. There was people wearing, like, the bandana things over their eyes. Like, there's, like, a lot of people doing that shit. And we went, you know, on Thursday at, like, 7 p.m. and it sold out. And it felt really, really, really good on that aspect. I was like, shit, man, fucking Turtles still kicks ass and still rocks. Because this is one of my favorite things growing up. Yeah. You know, totally. I was obsessed. I had all the toys, everything like that, and fucking watched the movies over and over. It was just a really, really good feeling. And I'm really stoked that the kids like the movie on that aspect. As an adult, the movie isn't that great. It doesn't capture the moments. I don't really care that they changed the backstory all that much, but the backstory doesn't really fucking make any sense. And whoever started the rumor that William Fichtner is Shredder is a fucking liar. Like, fucking.
I didn't believe that for a second. Come on.
Yeah, like, I remember hearing that, and I'm like, that doesn't seem right. Because, you know, even, does he still have the name of Rokusaki? Like, you know, what the fuck? But, there is one moment that they do capture the fucking, original Turtles type shit. And it's in the elevator, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Oh man,
that scene, that scene's been online. That scene, that's what, I saw that scene, I was like, okay, alright, that's the only thing I need to see.
That's because they captured it. They actually legitimately, like, captured, like the attitude and just the brotherhood of that. And when it happened, I just got goosebumps, and I was like, holy shit. Like, and then it was over. And then they never did it again, and that's towards the end of the movie. But, yeah, they have a couple, like, homages here and there, to the original, quickly. But, yeah, all in all, man, if you're, like, a fan like, me growing up, and you're, 30, 40 years old now, it just doesn't do it, you know? So.
Watch Ninja 3, The Domination is Dead.
Or watch the old
Show your kids
because those things are timeless.
No, never mind. Don't show your kids Ninja 3.
Yeah. All right. That V8 scene, you don't want to.
Scar them for life.
Run home with a fucking V8 just poured on your head while you're sitting on the couch.
Yeah. Our next date night, that's happening. Me and my wife. Hey, what's up, baby? Ka-chink.
Good luck.
All right. Well, we gotta wrap up.
But first, I gotta say something.
Oh God. Okay.
Sorry. So, ever since this show started, we have had nothing but great feedback from multiple people, from between Facebook messages on my personal account, from our ScreamCast account, on Twitter, to my personal Twitter account, just overwhelming. And at first it was our friends, and then it started to be strangers, and the strangers became our friends. Mm-hmm. And it's actually a really, really good feeling.
Yeah, it's cool.
That and every week our listeners up in numbers, and our subscribers go up. And, we've recently asked people to write reviews. And it's come to my attention from a person or people that have left, they've left good reviews. However, I think people misinterpret my humor. And I kind of want to stick on that for a second, because I took a screenshot and I sent it to some of my friends, and, they laughed. They said, don't worry about it. Just keep doing what you're doing. But then they stated that, you kind of do come across as an asshole sometimes. And I said, okay, yeah, I know that. So if you're new to the show and you haven't listened from the very first episode, or you don't know me through social media or anything, I love this show, and I love Sean, and I love Brian. Probably more than you will ever know, but, it's just my kind of attitude and my, sense of humor is that if I don't rag on you, I don't like you. That's kind of how it is. And I know sometimes, and from a new listener, if like you listen to like the last episode or the episode before last, I do come across as an asshole. But as Seth Gecko once said in From Dusk Till Dawn, I may be an asshole, but I'm not a fucking asshole. But I don't mean anything negative towards Sean or Brian or whoever. So just take an account for that. It's just my sense of humor. And the people on the show, like Sean and Brian, understand that. But if you're new, you may be confused. And I think that has come across to just a couple people. It's like not like, a fucking mass, like, 100 emails the other day for us saying, what the fuck is up with Brad? Why is he such an asshole? Nothing like that. Just a couple, and just made me realize that maybe this needs to be said just in case, because I don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable. I don't want anybody to think I'm belittling Sean on the show or Brian, or, think that I'm better than anything, because that's not at all true. So just, if you're newer, my sense of humor might clash with yours, and maybe you just think, God damn, that guy's an asshole. But it's true, and I'm not a fucking asshole. So,
right.
But anyways.
Right. Yep. It's all in good fun. I mean, I get told to go fuck myself almost every day at my job. So, I mean, Brad.
What does that say for you, though?
I have no idea. I don't know. Nobody.
Are you an asshole at work?
Yeah. No. I work. I work in the utilities area, whatever, and we get a lot of guys
who. What the fuck does utilities mean?
Public utility, electric company. So we get a lot of guys who used to be kind of construction, you know what I mean? And they'll kind of come in and work in the office when they and so it's a lot of rougher around the edges type dudes, and they're
kind of like me, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. Well, it's a sense of humor that I get being around it. And I've always but I don't give off that sense of humor. Like, I don't mess around like that, but I'm a good kind of foil for it or whatever. I'll go back and forth, and I'll become the butt of the joke if it's going to be funny. And, that's totally fine. I do that. That's just the way that I am. And so it's fun for me kind of setting up. If there's someone that I know that's going to run with something that I say, I'll set them up for sure. And that happens at work all the time.
Yeah, I just don't want people to like feel uncomfortable or just
totally
be weirded out by like Sean and I's relationship on the show, or even Brian. Like, it's just all in good fun, and it's just like, don't mean it at all. If you would ways just say it's just kind of an act sometimes, just to fucking loosen up and just fucking be a comedian.
Yeah, well, you're no comedian, Brad. Neither am I. I don't know. But, like, we like the show to be conversational, and this kind of, conversation back and forth is the kind of conversations that I like to be involved in. So, if you like listening to that, thank you for listening to the show. I've been so surprised by the response, and I want to thank, personally thank all the listeners for listening, because you guys are the reason why we do this. We wouldn't, if we did this.
I hate talking to Sean on a fucking podcast. Yeah, no, I mean, if it wasn't for the listeners and the amount of listeners we have, like, I mean, it would be hard to actually go and want to do the show. And we have, this is a horror movie podcast, which we have our niche, which is, Scream Factory, of course. And, when we created the podcast, or Sean actually created the podcast and wanted me to be a part of it. I kind of just let myself in. You know, I wanted to really be different because I mean, there's a lot out there and a lot of, you know, in a way it's kind of competition, not really because we all want to support one another. But just how do we get people to listen to us? You know, when there's ultimately more podcasts out there and certainly people know more than us. So we wanted to make it different, you know, focus on Scream Factory releases only, with our guests and stuff like that. We really wanted to stand out and we did. And which is, you know, pretty amazing, because the amount of people that listen to us is just fucking absurd, I think, because, you know, who fucking knew?
Yeah, that's funny.
So
thank you guys for listening. You can always drop by our website and drop us an email if you're into writing up an email. We'd love to hear from you. It's thescreamcast.com. There's a link that says contact and a form. You can just that's the easiest way to get a hold of us. Through email. I think it still works. But
any, like, I mean, I think I asked this last time. Has anybody emailed you?
No. But, I think the preferable way that we can hear from you guys is on Twitter. When we release the show, I love seeing the tweets come in as people are listening. It's a lot of fun. So that is a great place to get a hold of us. And, you know, if there's a title that we haven't talked about yet and you are dying to hear our thoughts on it, let us know. And that'll help kind of guide the conversation that way. And then, Facebook, we're on Facebook. If you go to thescreamcast.com, you'll see the links to Twitter and Facebook. It's the easiest place to find us on Facebook because I had to do some weird things, like, because I think ScreamCast or the ScreamCast was taken, as far as that goes. So drop us a line there, and join our group there and, you know, join the conversation there. And, you can find our Twitters through those as well. And,
and if we talk you in, because I know this has happened because I, you know, ask on Twitter or whatever, if we talk you into watching a movie or buying a movie, let us know because that makes us feel really, 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 really good.
Oh, it'd be cool.
Because I know there's been a few, like not a few, but a lot of people that say, hey, you know, listen to your show, finally watch this movie. It was super badass. Like that feels really good because, I mean, that's ultimately kind of what we want to do is we want to spread these movies so people see them.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's no financial gain with this fucking podcast. It's just, you know, we like movies. We want to promote movies. That's why we also talk about other, you know, brands and labels on the show. So.
Yep. So, thanks for listening. I'm excited about our next episode. So, keep your ears tuned to the show.
Very, very pumped.
Yep.
We'll just say it's going to be kind of hard on the show because this is a person that I've looked up to ever since I was little. This is actually one of the first directors I discovered on my own.
Oh boy, I'm excited.
So, yeah,
all right.
Very exciting.
Well, until then, all of you guys have a great week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, don't tell me you're leaving. The party's just begun.
And, oh crap, where'd my notes go?
I don't know, Sean. Why don't you find your notes?
Let me find my frickin' notes.
Wait, when is the last time it was just you and me?
Dude, it's been a while, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Beneath.
Holy shit, it's been a while. Yeah, that's a spoiler.
What?
That's a spoiler. Yeah, because you don't know, because he's one of the, oh god.
Alright, so where are we going to start? From the VA juice?